well, first, I do appreciate everybody, you guys, and the fans, and everybody that braved the elements to come and support us in what was a big game for us. Congratulations to Darren and his crew yesterday on that win. That's big time, and we just wanted to do our part and kind of follow suit. And I thought we prepared properly. I liked the game plan coming in. I thought our kids were dialed in. Tons and tons of respect for Iowa State, Coach Finley, what they do. I think they're a really, really good basketball team. Obviously, there's some matchup, problems at times that they present, and what they can do inside, and then how well they shoot it from the perimeter. So, there's a couple ways that we looked at it coming in. Do we try to pick a poison and really just take one away? Do we try to eliminate the three? There's just so many things. And then, what do you do with Addie Brown? So, for the most part, I thought we did a really, really good job. I love the first quarter. I thought that settled us in really quickly. Anytime you get a 30-point quarter is pretty good. It's pretty impressive. And it was back and forth early. I don't remember how many points they scored late in the quarter, but it didn't feel like it was a whole lot. So I thought we kind of settled in defensively and really liked what we did in the second quarter. The second half, maybe not quite as much. I thought we lost our way just a hair and kind of started getting into the trade baskets mindset, and we did not want to do that. But Jordan Harrison got us off to a really good start offensively. JJ kind of picked it up and then kind of went on a little Quinterly run there in the second half. But proud of CC. Kyle Watson was fantastic. So, I thought we did a great job. I thought we battled with Crooks, tried to give her different looks as much as we possibly could. So I thought Kylie actually played really well against Crooks. I know she got in foul trouble, and she'll be disappointed with the minutes, but I thought she battled her. I thought Jordan Thomas was really good when she was able to play, and then CC was good, and Danelle in her minutes as well. So, but it took us all, and so proud of the win, and now we go on the road.
Yeah, Coach, to start the game, you mentioned getting off to that hot start, but defensively with Blackston out there, what was the game plan going in? Because she seemed like she did a really good job against Crooks, but she is undersized. So what was the game plan?
Yeah, she's undersized, but it's not just that one-on-one matchup. When you're trying to take away post players, it comes in all different forms, right? And ball pressure, passing, they've got to do several things, get to their spots to get the timing right. And so we just tried to make it really difficult and uncomfortable for some of the kids that need to get her the ball at the right time and spacing. And Kylie's just active, and she's played against her. And Kylie's a senior, and she's been around and understands, and she was ready for the matchup. And like I said, I thought two of her fouls were, from her coach's perspective, maybe not great. And it's tough. I know it's probably difficult to officiate those down there, and what's contact by us and what's contact initiated, by her. But Kylie was really good, I thought, in the limited minutes. But she was good, and then I thought the other kids did a great job.
Yesterday's game, the men doubled down well inside on the post, got a lot of deflection steals. Your team did that well. Seemed like their timing was really good today, getting there at the right time, right when Crooks or somebody else turned the basket. Was that part of the timing things you were talking about? And do y'all share any ideas on how to double down?
No, we didn't share any ideas on that one. I talked to Darren before his game, but it wasn't X and O type, game plan type stuff. Just normal coach talk, I guess. But no, yeah, we did a lot. We did a lot of different things. Again, I don't want to really give it all away, I guess, for the future. But yeah, there was just opportunities to get in there and do what we could, whether it was full on double or maybe not double, maybe think double was coming. And that's kind of what I alluded to before we played him. I just think you have to be careful giving her the same look all the time, because then they settle in, and she's just way too good of an offensive player to keep the same look. So even your post defense was different, and we changed that up, and where the help might come from, we tried to change that up, and credit our players, because yes, they were dialed in, and which I think she ended up with six turnovers, and that's not normal obviously for her. So proud of the kids, and they bought into what we were trying to game plan around.
You mentioned Jordan Harrison having a good game, but on the stat sheet, she did literally everything: 20 points, 6 assists, 1 turnover, 7 steals. Just speak to her efforts more tonight.
Yeah, it was a pretty good night, right? And and she was a lot of the offense in the first half. I think she had 16 of the 20, if I'm not mistaken, at half. But yeah, that's what Jordan is. She makes us go. She's the leader. She's the voice. Fantastic player. When she came into college, she wasn't really a scorer. I've talked about that a little bit. But when I was at SFA, we had to have her score, and she really learned how to score, and she's kind of continued that here. And she's obviously leads us in assists. She's one of the best defenders in this league. I think she's a phenomenal defender. So yeah, really happy for her and proud of the group around her.
Coach, I know when you go out looking for recruits, you may not have one or two games in mind, but if you were to compare your game plan against Crooks this year, as opposed to last year, it's night and day, and that with the personnel that you now have to throw at her.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Absolutely. It's not just Crooks. So when you come into the Big 12, you get a lot of these dominant low post players, and we didn't quite have as much size as we do now to go up against those. And yeah, we had a lot of the bodies. And honestly, I was going to get Danelle in even quicker, because she's been a pretty good matchup with Crooks, but I just thought Jordan Thomas, I didn't know quite if Jordan was freshman and ready, but I thought she did a really, really good job in her minutes, and then Cece did a good job. So otherwise we would have gone to Nell even a little bit quicker, and I guess that's the beauty of the team is we do have some depth, and we're still trying to work through it. But yeah, it's different. It feels different than a year ago.
Do you think it would be possible going in, hold her to 11 or 13 or whatever?
Yeah, 13, I think. No, that wasn't the number in my mind. So, yeah, we exceeded the I didn't tell the team, but as a coaching staff, we talked about that one a little bit, and I didn't know that we could hold her, to 13, but it's 13 and not give up a ton of threes, too. I think that's what probably pleases me the most as a coach. It wasn't where we had to, really go all in on stopping her at the expense of giving up threes or vice versa. So to be able to really do both of those was pretty exceptional.
You also only held her to 2 rebounds, which is like 6 under her average. What went into that?
Yeah, I don't know that there was much, that really went into that. A lot of times she gets her own offensive rebounds if she misses 2, so it was kind of a gang rebound mentality around her so that we couldn't, so she didn't do that. She didn't play as much as she probably traditionally does either, and so, yeah, I don't know that I have a great answer for that one. I don't know if that was us or is just flow or the way the game played out.
And then Quinterly continues to rise up the scoring list at West Virginia. Coach Finelli called her a pro, like an absolute pro. Just your comment on that. I mean, you probably agree with him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we think she's a pro for sure. I think JJ understands that. I mean, the WNBA knows of JJ Quint. Like, she is on the radar. There's going to be 39 kids drafted. I would think that JJ is one of the top 39 players, in the country. And so, I think she is one of those. She's going to continue to work at it and try to improve her game. But yeah, we've looked at that and thought of her that way since we've been here. But we don't want her to think that way right now. We just let that happen when it happens. But let's just focus on being as good of a mountaineer as you can and keep climbing these charts and leave just a phenomenal legacy.
Coach, I've always kind of wondered, you've had Jordan now for 3 years and Jordan and JJ together for 2 years. Do they fit your style perfectly? And the fact that they are undersized, I guess, but speedy and athletic, I'm wondering if that is what makes them fit together perfectly. I'm also interested in your opinion. What if you played a different style and still had those two? Would they still be able to, if you were just a half-court kind of team, would they be able to still be Jordan and JJ?
Yeah, well, I don't know because we don't really play that way. But, my thought when we got here was to put these 2 elite guards in the best position to have success. When I got here, I didn't know was JJ going to really, really want the ball all the time. Jordan is was maybe more of a true point guard, but we play them together, let both of them handle it. We can sub them. But I thought this really, really fit both, and we can mix defenses. We can protect them a little bit at times when we do play kind of the zone. So, if they're small and you're playing bigger teams and you're playing maybe half-court man and they're not as big, do they get posted up and, the size wear them down? But when we're defending in space, maybe not so much. So that does probably play to their strengths. But they're elite on-ball defenders. They're elite quickness. They're elite speed. So, yes, all of those attributes are fantastic. If I could find those 2 and be 6 feet, then I guess that would be a little bit better. But that doesn't always happen, and don't have that luxury. But these 2, I wouldn't trade them. I think they're as dynamic as about any combo in the country.
As long as you can keep the tempo fast, they're okay, it seems like, or they're in a better position to excel.
Yeah, I think at times, and I don't know that if we don't, that it doesn't necessarily still allow them, opportunity. We've tried to create some things offensively to get them in space and operate, but they both can shoot it. They put it on the floor. They got mid-range. They can get to the rim. They score at all 3 levels. So, we're not afraid to play in the half court. I don't know that that's the best thing for us all the time, depending on who we play. But like tonight, we would prefer pace and tempo and get the thing going. And I thought we had it for the most part at that, and those 2 are the start of it.
Did Emily Ryan not playing today change the game plan at all?
Honestly, not too much. I mean, for us. But I think the world of that kid, too. Like, she is unbelievably good. they may think that it probably changed, and I probably would, just for their sake, because her connection with Crooks is unbelievable, and she just kind of probably slows everybody down. We had turned her over a little bit in here last year, and you never would have known based on her body language and demeanor, and when you watch her play, and she hits every big shot, which she did at their place to us a year ago. So you're just talking about a heady player that wasn't out there, and some of the kids that they played hadn't played against us, and so that probably was advantage us, but it didn't change a whole lot of the game plan difference, no.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.